Hi guys, welcome back to my channel today. So I am in the kitchen and I am going to be making shepherd's pie. This is a dish that I have never made in my entire life, and I'm going to make it from all ingredients from the food pantry. So it's going to be a completely nutritious and a free meal. So we're going to start with this can of beef. I've never cooked it before, but from what I understand, it's delicious and it is similar to ground beef. So we'll be cooking that, and then I will be adding my mixed vegetables from the food pantry, and also I'll be using instant mashed potatoes. So let's get cooking, y'all. I've been wanting to use this can of beef for so long, and I finally got the opportunity to do so. So let me go ahead and open it and see what it looks like. I've seen people online use it for stew and for making spaghetti sauce and all kinds of different dishes with it. From what I understand, it is placed into the can raw, and then it's canned that way and cooked inside of the can. It smells good. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It does have a lot of gelatin in it, which is good. I mean, that's collagen, right? Some people wash it, but I'm just going to keep it the way that it is. So let me go ahead and turn the fire on underneath my iron skillet. Already has, well, it has a lot of fat to it. A lot of fat in here has settled on the bottom. Let me start cooking it, and if I need the extra fat, then I can just dip it out. It is distributed by Lakeside Foods, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Says store unopened can in a cool, dry place. After opening, store unused beef in this can. Cover and refrigerate. Ingredients: beef and salt. Let's see if it has an expiration date. I've heard that, what are those people called that store food? Not hoarders. Preppers. Preppers, end of world preppers. I've heard that they buy this and keep it in their prep supply. Okay, so let's get started breaking it up. I'm just going to use my spatula. Even though it's already cooked, I am still going to cook it and brown it a little bit. I was so excited to get this beef, y'all, and try cooking it. I do have another can, which I hope to use in maybe a different kind of recipe. I may make spaghetti sauce with it. I have never made shepherd's pie, y'all. I didn't even really know what it was. I never even attempted to make it because I didn't know what it was. You know, back in the 80s and 90s when I was raising my family, we couldn't just pop on the internet and look up ingredients in a recipe immediately like you can do today. So I just thought, with the name of it, shepherd's pie, I thought it was made from lamb. You know, a shepherd and his flock. The only thing I ever knew about lamb was, what was her name? Sherry Lewis, and the ventriloquist, her little lamb chops. Oh, she was so cute. I used to love watching her. Now I watch Terry Fader. I like him a lot. I guess he's still performing in Las Vegas. I don't know. I haven't ever had a chance to go see him perform, but I do watch his videos on YouTube. Okay, so the meat is starting to cook. Y'all, my refrigerator is bare. Today is actually Google Pay Day, but with it being on Sunday, we usually get our YouTube paycheck on Monday. But then tomorrow is a holiday, so we probably won't get it until Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm just waiting for my part-time job paycheck so I can go buy groceries. Makes it difficult when you live on Social Security only, and you try to supplement your little bit of Social Security with a part-time job, and then when that paycheck is delayed, you're really in dire straits. But Thank goodness for the food pantries and their generosity with the food that they give to us here on Long Island. I'm very grateful for it. Okay, so let's start doctoring up this beef. Okay, I chopped up an onion, and I made sure to keep my distance this time so that it wouldn't burn my eyeballs out. So we're gonna, I would throw in some garlic, but I'm out of garlic too. So I'll just add some garlic powder and some other seasonings. This really smells delicious. Kind of reminds me of corned beef hash. I do see some cartilage in it. Let me go ahead and dip that out. I don't like that tough cartilage. I do come across that sometimes when I buy the canned corned beef hash. I like making that, and what I do is make a little circle in it as I'm cooking it. Open up a little circle and put an egg in there and fry it. Okay, let's start adding some seasonings. So I'm going to add some paprika. I think this is what, 1/4 of a teaspoon. That's 1/4 of a teaspoon. The last time I cooked, and I had dipped it out to measure it, I didn't reinsert the little shaker things back on top. That's okay. So this is garlic powder. We'll put 1/4 of a teaspoon garlic powder. Of course, I'm going to taste it, and this is ground onion. If it needs more, I can always add more. And it already has salt, so I'm not putting very much salt, just a dash. And then I'll put a good bit of black pepper. And I want a little bit of my Tony Chachere's seasonings. I've gotten real lax, y'all, and recommending things that I buy on Amazon and putting the links in the description, and now I got notification that Amazon is changing how we get the link. So I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to figure out how to do it. I need to spend time making a video just on Amazon, things that I like from Amazon. This week is going to be a busy week, so I may not get many videos up. Jill is working and the children are out of school for winter break. Okay, I'm going to turn the burner down and then just let these onions saute. Okay, so I have my pot of water boiling for the instant potatoes. And what you do is just bring it to a boil, and then you turn off the heat and add the potatoes, and then just fluff them up with a fork. We'll go on top of the meat mixture. I normally would put butter in it, but I'm out of butter too. Oh, really? It is time to go shopping. Take a trip to Walmart, isn't it? Okay, so to this I want to add some broth. I have my broth. This is some beef broth. I think this is from that meat that I cooked in the crock pot that day. That big pack of meat that turned out to be stew meat. So we'll add this broth. Let it melt. What I did, normally I think you would use frozen mixed vegetables, but I'm using what I got from the food pantry, and it's just, I drained the juice off of it. Okay, so I am going to throw this away because I'm not going to be using any of that fat that's in the bottom of it. Now what I want to do is make a little bit of gravy to this. So I have a cup of water here. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons flour to it. And then I'll pour my slurry mixture into here. I may even have to add more of the broth. We'll see. Oh, and I found my can of peppers. I'll put one of those in here too. Let me cut it up a little bit. Might as well put these pickled carrots in there too. Sure smells delicious. I'm going to add a few squirts of ketchup to give it a little tomato flavoring and sweetness. I think the carrots are tender, good and tender. Okay, let's go ahead and add the slurry to this and get us a nice gravy going here. Add about 2 tablespoons flour. You can use cornstarch, whatever thickening agent you prefer. So what were some of y'all's favorite shows back in the 60s and 70s when you were growing up? I'm talking about when you got to be more in your teenage years. I used to watch Dean Martin, and he had that group of women on there that he called the Golden Girls. I loved listening to him sing. He was a comedian too, right? Dean Martin, Danny Thomas, Sammy Davis Jr., the Rat Pack, is that what they were all called? Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, oh, I loved him. He was so funny, such dry humor. You just add this slowly to your beef mixture, and then this will make us a nice gravy. I usually make my gravy with butter and flour and brown it. That's not how I'm going to make it for this dish. Let me turn the fire up a little bit. Let's get this to go, and I'm hungry. It's way past lunchtime, almost dinner time. And this should thicken up very nicely. Okay. I want to add my Worcestershire sauce. Add a little more than the dash that I normally add. It's hot. I'm afraid to burn my tongue. I hate that feeling. It needs more salt, believe it or not. It does. It needs a little bit of salt. It's good though. Okay, I'm going to put more Tony Chachere's in it because it's not hot enough for me. And this has salt in it, so I'll just put one little shake. I believe that's enough gravy. So that was about 3/4 cup of water and 2 tablespoons flour to thicken it up. It's going to thicken up some more as it bakes. Okay, I think this is about it for the mixture, so we're going to go ahead and pour it into my pan. I'm using just a regular square, like a brownie pan. Of course, if you make a big dish of it, like 2 pounds of ground beef, then you'll want to use the bigger 9x13 baking pan. Okay, so let's go ahead and transfer it to the pan. Y'all, the older I get, the harder it is to lift these cast iron skillets. Oh, I don't know how our grandmothers did it. That was all they had to cook with back in the day. Was cast iron. Okay. And what we'll do is put the can of mixed vegetables over this. Looks to me like those vegetables need some black pepper on them, right? Okay, now let's pour the potatoes on them. Y'all, Boston Market has the best mashed potatoes. You know, I don't think their menu has changed much in the 30, 40 years that they've been in business. They still have the spinach casserole. They still have the sweet potato casserole. They still have the mixed vegetables, the broccoli and cauliflower and see what else do they have that's good. Green beans and corn. Uh-oh, these are kind of thick. Not going to be too easy to spread. Maybe I should have added more water and had them a little bit thinner. Y'all have to tell me how you make your potatoes that you put on top of your shepherd's pie so that they'll spread easier. The recipe does not call for cheese, but I have this government cheese, so definitely I'm going to sprinkle some of that on it too. Now, if you do make your potatoes fresh, you could add some cream cheese in with your mashed potatoes, and then as it cooks, it should make a nice little crispy crust. Doing it the lazy way, y'all. Take as many shortcuts in the kitchen as you possibly can. That way you have more time to spend with your friends and family. Okay. You know, I have some panko breadcrumbs. I think I'll throw some of those on top too. Okay, so let's put it in a 350-degree oven, and I'll be back to check it in a half hour. Oops, I almost forgot. I want to put a little paprika on the top. I think that'll give it some color. And I wish I hadn't thrown away my little shaker top. That was dumb. Okay, now let's put it in the oven. Okay, guys. So it stayed in the oven for 30 minutes on 350. And I'm going to cut me off a piece of it and give it a taste. The little panko breadcrumbs browned up nicely. I'm real happy. I have those in my pantry, but I very seldom have a need for them. I usually buy them for something specific. So it does look delicious and smells delicious, so let me take it over to my table and take a bite of it. I'm dying to taste it. Okay, so I'm just going to let it cool off a minute and then give it a taste test. Smells good. So I will leave some links in the description below of where you can Google and read about how you can get free food from a local food pantry in your area. And maybe you'll be lucky and get some of this canned beef too. Ooh, it's so hot. It smells good. It's a little bit moist. I probably should have cooked it another 5 or 10 minutes, or maybe I should have made my gravy slurry a little bit thicker. Make sure I get some cheese in this bite. It's really delicious, y'all. I hope that all of you have enough food to eat today and to last you until the end of the month, until you get your next Social Security check. Believe me, I've been there. I know what it's like to have no food in the house and to have to go either borrow money or take something to the flea market and sell it so that you could get enough money to buy a loaf of bread and some milk and some eggs, or return something to Walmart that you haven't used yet and hope that you can get enough cash so that you can go buy yourself some food. I've been there and done that many a time, and it's not a good way to live, but it's the way a lot of us are having to live nowadays. I mean, not only here in America, but in other countries too. Even my subscribers, and I have subscribers in Chile and Portugal and Scotland and England, all over. All of us are suffering. You know, the cost of everything going up every day. It's not like the price of things goes up and then you go back a month or two later. It's a day or two later. You know, it's just awful, and something has got to be done to put the brakes on it. But in the meantime, you can get help. You just have to know where to look, and the links that I leave below will be a starting point for you. And don't ever be ashamed or embarrassed going to a food bank or a food pantry, because people are there to help others. And they get grants from the federal government and other agencies, from the Catholic diocese and Catholic charities. They have plenty of money to give. They have plenty of people who can afford to donate and do donate, and they want their money put to good use. And it's for people like me and you who need it and need to not be ashamed to take advantage of it. So let me finish eating my food pantry shepherd's pie, and then I will end this and get it uploaded, and hopefully you can use the resources that I list to get some help for you and your family. It's so good, y'all. So I hope that you will give me a thumbs up, and if you know of just one person that you could share my channel with that you think would like it, and ask them to subscribe also, and let's get my subscriber count up. I really appreciate it. So don't forget to hit the red subscribe button down there, and y'all just keep on coming back. Goodbye, guys.